You ever get that feeling like exams are just a test of how much you can cram into your brain, not what you actually know? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on how exams are really designed. And we're going to give you the playbook to not just pass, but to truly master your subjects. Let's get right into it.
It's super frustrating, right? You spend hours, maybe even days, just cramming, only to feel like it all disappears the moment you walk out of the exam hall. But here's the good news. The old rules of the game, they're changing.
So this quote, this is pretty much the new philosophy behind the exams you're taking. It's not about how many hours you've logged in the library anymore. Nope. It's all about demonstrating that you can take what you've learned and actually do something with it.
So yeah, the whole game has totally shifted. It's moved from just, spinning back facts to actually applying them. Can you take a formula from a physics class and use it to solve a real problem? Can you use a lesson from history to analyze something happening right now? That is what examiners are really looking for these days.
Okay, so how do they actually test these application skills? I mean, it's not just random, right? Right. There's a blueprint behind every single exam paper, and it's designed to poke and prod at different layers of your understanding. So let's break down the 6 levels of thinking they're targeting.
All right, think of these 6 things like a ladder. At the very bottom, you got the basics, just remembering stuff and understanding it. But the real action, where the big points and, honestly, the real learning happens, is when you start climbing higher to apply, analyze, evaluate, and even create.
Let's zoom in a bit on apply. This is really where the rubber meets the road. It's all about taking a piece of knowledge out of its neat little textbook box and putting it to work in a situation you've never encountered before. It's about becoming a problem solver.
Okay, look at this. This question isn't just asking you to define blood types. No way. It throws you into a real-life scenario with Tara's family and basically says, okay, use what you know about Rh incompatibility to figure out what's going on and how you could have prevented it. See? That's application in action. All right, let's keep climbing that ladder. Up next, analyze and evaluate. Now we're getting into the deep end. Here, you're not just using what you know, you're taking it apart, seeing how all the pieces fit together, and forming your own educated judgments. You're basically becoming a critical thinker. And this is a perfect example of an evaluate question. It gives you a basic fact, arteries are thicker than veins, okay, cool, and then it totally flips it. It asks you to imagine what if. It really pushes you past just memorizing the fact to understanding the fundamental why behind the whole biological design.
So we've seen how they're testing your brain on all these different levels. Now let's get a little strategic. How does all this actually add up to your final grade? Because, understanding where the marks come from, that is your secret weapon.
Okay, look at this chart. This is a total game changer. About half your marks, yeah, they come from just remembering and understanding things. But that other half? That's all about those higher-level thinking skills we talked about. So if you're only focused on memorizing, you're basically walking into the exam ready to give up on 50% of the points. Wild, right?
And here it is, the anatomy of your exam paper. Check out all the different question types. Sure, you've got your quick-fire, single-answer questions. But the real meat of the exam, where the big marks are hiding, that's in those case-based and long-answer questions. That's where you gotta flex those brain muscles for analysis and evaluation.
Okay, let's break this question down. First, it asks for a fact, why this toxin is harmless to bacteria. That's just remembering. Simple enough. Then, it asks you to connect that fact to how it helps crops. Boom, that's applying. And finally, it makes you decide something based on all that info. And that, my friends, is analysis. So you see, it's one question, but it's hitting 3 different levels of thinking at once.
So, a question like that, how in the world do you even prepare for it? Clearly, just reading and rereading your textbook isn't going to cut it. You need a way to study that actually builds up these thinking skills from the get-go.
And the key, the absolute secret sauce, is something called active note-making. And I know what you're thinking. Note-making sounds boring, but stick with me. This is way more than just scribbling stuff down. It's a full-on strategy to engage with what you're learning, break it down, and really own it. It's like hacking your own brain's learning code.
Let me put it this way. Passive reading, that's like watching a sport from the sidelines. But active note-making, that puts you on the field as the star player. You're not just watching the information go by. You're grabbing it, shaping it, and making it work for you.
So really, why go to all this trouble? Well, because it forces you to stop being a passive sponge and start being a filter. You're deciding what's important. You're curating the knowledge. And the best part? When it's crunch time before an exam, you've already built the perfect, personalized study guide for yourself.
All right, ready to become a master note-taker? It's actually a pretty simple 4-step process. Step 1, give your notes a clear title. Step 2, build a structure with headings and subheadings. Step 3, and this is a big one, use short phrases and bullet points. Do not write full sentences. And finally, Step 4, make up your own little key for abbreviations to speed things up.
And just look at the magic right here. On the left, you've got this dense block of text. On the right, you've got Power Notes. See how clear that is? It's got a structure, it uses abbreviations, it's just so much easier to understand at a glance. This is how you turn a wall of text into actual knowledge.
Okay, so we've gone over the new exam rules, we've talked about some tools to win the game, but let's just zoom out for a second, because this is about something way bigger than just getting a good grade. This is actually about rewiring how you think. You see, this new way of testing isn't just a sneaky way to make exams harder. It's designed to give you the exact same skills that top scientists, engineers, and innovators use every single day. The ability to think critically, to solve problems, to apply what you know, that's a superpower in the real world, no matter what you end up doing.
So, now you have the playbook. You know the secrets. You have the strategies. You've got the tools to not just get through your exams, but to absolutely crush them. So the real question is, how are you going to change the way you study? How are you going to change the way you think? The journey starts now.